Party of a lifetime. Alright, what do we got besides Wiggly camera still? Still working on that. The new camera angle's kind of... It makes it unnecessarily wiggly. I'm still not very happy with that. But working on it. Working on it every time. So what do we got? We got some wrecka krew. So this is one of the kill teams that came out 2 boxes ago, 3 boxes ago, something like that. And they're now finally out on their own as their own kill team. So I love orcs, so I wanted to pick these guys up to add to my workforce because I thought that'd be really fun. Also, because they're very like characterful, the same way the commandos were. So I think that's pretty sweet. And they'll make really fun models for like one-page rolls and stuff because of that. So thought we would check them out. I took the plastic off, but I haven't actually opened them up yet. So it looks like we're going to get 6 guys and 2 squigs who are stuffed full of bombs, which is pretty cool. There's a guy with like punchy fists, and there's a boss guy, a couple guys with rockets, a guy with a rocket hammer. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So figure we would crack the box open, see what's inside. Alright. We've got a whole bunch of floating around free faces, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Looks like we're going to get 1, 2, 3 sprues, which is pretty good. It's pretty good for a team like this. We got some other bases. And we've got a sticker sheet. This is like the standard orc sticker sheet. That's pretty cool. And then we have whatever the hell that is. And our instrucciones. We'll look at those in a second. Let's figure out what the hell this is. Assuming this is some kind of like kill team specific thing. I don't really play the new kill team, but the models are awesome for one-page rolls. Oh. Okay, and some kind of token sheet that's orc themed. That's pretty cool. I imagine these tokens mean something to people that play kill team. But they seem like nice tokens. Yeah, I could easily use those for one-page rolls. Just sub them in as different things. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Just a neat set of like orc-themed tokens. Alright, we've got our instructions. Let's see what we got. Oh, all kinds of stuff. Rocket backpacks. Pistols, punchy pistols. Whole bunch of kind of like option pieces, which is pretty cool. We got a whole bunch of jaws to add, shoulders, our choice of shooting rockets or not shooting rockets. Okay, that's pretty cool. It looks like our main guy here is gonna have like double rocket pistol, or he's gonna have a rocket and a hammer. And then it looks like we get into the guys, and they can have a couple different rockets that go on their back, which is kind of cool. Guess they can shoot those off. And then he has 1 rocket launcher or hammer. Is that the same guy? Yeah, it's the same guy. So it looks like he can be built with the rocket pack on his back, without the rocket pack, or with a smashy hammer thing. So that's pretty cool. And this guy can have a shoulder rocket, a hammer, or punchy hammer hands. The shoulder rocket on him looks really cool. Then we've got another guy who has 2 different kinds of rocket hammers or rocket launcher. last guy looks like he gets a hammer or a rocket. And then a hammer or a rocket. So it looks like almost everybody gets the option of having a hammer or a rocket, and then you can have one guy that has punchy action, one guy with a rocket hammer, and one guy with like a rocket backpack as well. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, that's pretty cool. There's just some cool options there. Let's take a look at our sprues. Ooh. Oh, there's some really cool detail on like this armor here where it's like kind of chipped and stuff. It's kind of neat. Couple different rockets. This one's like a sword with some rockets. That's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, definitely no repeats in the sprues. These guys are all going to be unique, which is pretty neat. A couple other shoulder rockets versus handheld rockets. There's one of the squigs. This squig here, this one, looks very similar to the squig from the Commandos, but it actually is different, but it is very similar. And then this sprue is almost all punchy hands, which is really weird because I think there's only one guy that has punchy hands. Oh, maybe these are also the ends of the hammers. I bet they are. Okay, that makes more sense then. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, let's build some dudes. I think I'll try to keep the instructions off screen so it doesn't screw up our white balance too much, but let's see. We need piece number 1 and piece number 2, which is our orc boy here with his tactical rock. I guess this guy's probably a knob, to be honest, not a boy, but yeah, he is way too big to be a boy. And then we have what I'm guessing is going to be probably magnetizable options for his hands, but we'll look at those in a second. Oh, wait. There's more than one guy that's standing on a rock. Shit. Okay. That's annoying. GW, everything doesn't need tactical rocks. This guy's tactical rock is bigger, and I guess if I was paying attention, I would have noticed that, but damn. Alright, so we'll pull that out, and then looks like he gets this. And then we get some choices. Choices. Let's see. He gets arm number 6 and arm number 3 as like must-haves. So we'll clip those out. As well while we're here. So I'm assuming his loadout affects what kind of specialist he is in actual kill team. But honestly, I'm just going to build him for whatever looks cooler. After I see if he is magnetizable, which I'm going to assume he's going to easily be magnetizable. So maybe we'll magnetize him. Sounds like fun. I haven't actually magnetized a model's options in a while, to be honest. So that sounds kind of fun. Okay, so he goes on a 40 because he's a big boy. Yeah, looks like it's all 32s except for the big guys on 40s, and the other ones are on 25s. The squigs. That's what it looks like to me. So we'll plop him all down. We will hopefully not have to open up another glue. I've been working on my Gene Stealer cult. My husband, for not last Christmas, the Christmas before, got me some Gene Stealer cult. And I'm finally getting around to working on them. So I've been using up a whole bunch of my glue. Is there anything in this? Yeah, there's plenty in there. Alright, hold on. To the wire! Little spool of wire. But yeah, I'm not in work today because I am taking today off as a nice relaxing bit. And I'll probably take off some time tomorrow too. I spent all day yesterday in the hospital, so I am super sore. And apologies if the bruises on my arms show up. They're from all the tests that I had to go through. But yeah, I'm like super shaky and stuff right now because I'm just so like fucking sore and tired. Shoop. All right. While he sets it on his base, we will look at what other options he gets. Let's see. He gets a head, which is either piece number 8 or piece number 10. And then he's going to get shoulder number 7 and shoulder number 8. So he isn't going to get shoulder options. Probably because this guy is the bigger kind of orc. So I guess this guy is supposed to be the knob and the other guys are supposed to be boys. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, so looks like the other ones are going to have a lot of options for like which shoulders and stuff, but looks like this guy, the boss, does not. The boss! He's going to get that, and then he either gets this head with like a skull face mask, or this one with like, I don't know, it looks like a Vegeta like power scanner to me, so I think we'll do that one. That's more fun in my opinion. And let's see, what else is he going to get? He's going to get a back piece and then one of two like tabs, one of two like banners for it. I guess he's the back piece with the big sword, that makes sense. Or I should say the choppa, because that's what this is. And then you can either have this back piece, which is like a fist, or that one, which looks lewd as hell, so we're going to choose that one, obviously. It's like a hand holding a rocket. So clearly we're picking that one. Gonna throw a little more glue on some of the edges just to make sure they're tightened up. And we'll start putting our guy together. But yeah, this is a cool set, and I fucking love orcs. I have some more orcs actually to paint behind me. I was going to do it back in October for Orktober, but I ended up painting Tyranids, I think, instead. Right? I did some. I think it was Tyranids, and then that bled into Nidvember. So no, I did fantasy orcs. That's what I did. Yeah, I painted my fantasy orcs. Wow! Fantasy orc time. He's riding a big old fucking pig. So good. So good. Wonderful models. I got these on sale from a local store too, which is even doper. Oh. Sorry, my rolly chair gets stuck on the cable I have a little fan on the floor for when it gets hot in here. And my rolly chair gets stuck on the cable sometimes. There we go. Alright. So, I think we'll assemble him pretty much as is, and then we'll figure out what to do with his extra hand. But yeah, the little song that was stuck in my head at the beginning of my stream here, it's from Warframe. I got the Warframe bug hard again. Man, it's such a good game, and it's been such a good game for years now. Like, it's crazy that a game just continues to be good, right? So many games now, they hit this point where like they decide to do some really dumb fucking shit, and it like totally kills the game. You know, they're like, oh, it's a new game experience, and it's like, yeah, but it kills everything that made the old game cool. You know. Yeah, Warframe hasn't done that. It's done a lot of weird stuff, but like none of it's been bad. It's all just been strange, you know. So their new like quote unquote expansion goes back in time to the fucking 90s, and it is like, what if Y2K was real and it turned technology into literal monsters? And that's pretty damn fun. It's just a really cool setup. Just really enjoy the game. I was actually playing my husband's account a bunch this morning because he wanted one of the weapons. And we thought we had until Sunday to get it, but apparently it was actually this afternoon. So it worked out really well that I actually was off today because I could finish the grind for him. The grind in that game is very fun. So, alright. That's a pretty fucking cool looking orc. And then it looks like he either gets this hammer, which can have a different head on it, which would go right there, or he can have double pistol. Double pistol's cooler looking, I think. Yeah, I think that's definitely cooler looking. This hammer is pretty cool though too, because it's got like a drill on the back. It's pretty neat. Especially once we put like a plate on the front here, I think that would look pretty darn cool. Now this is probably pretty easily magnetizable if we want to do that. So I'm going to put that off to the side for now. I'm going to think about if I want to do that or not. Because the thing about the magnetizable parts, I love magnetizing things. I hate keeping the extra pieces. Like, it's so annoying to me to have a baggie of little pieces and go dig through it and stuff. It's such a pain in the ass. If I only played like one game, it wouldn't be a big deal. But because I play so many different armies and stuff, it's a giant pain in the ass. Alright, so this is the guy who can have the rocket backpack. I think him having a rocket backpack is a given. I think that's cool. So where were those pieces where the rockets were shooting? don't see those in the instructions anywhere. Maybe here? Yeah, these parts are not in the instructions. Yeah, see them? There's one where it's like shooting the rocket. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, I don't see these in the instructions anywhere. Maybe I'm just missing it, but... Yeah, that's weird. They have extra parts that aren't in the instructions anywhere. Oh, right here they are. Maybe it says use B somewhere, maybe? That must be it. It must say to use B somewhere. Oh yeah, it just says 5, which means 5A or 5B. So you could hook him up with the shooty rockets. Interesting. That's a cool part though. I like that. Alright, so let's see. We have piece number 15. No, that's not our guy here. Let's find our guy. There he is. No. 29, 44. Must be on this one. There we go. 14, 15, 16. So, that is something that sucks about these models. You're not going to have any variation in the poses, and you're not going to have any variation in like their chest equipment. So it's not like the old orc boys where you would pick a chest and all of them worked. And all these guys are going to be in the same pose. So that kind of sucks. You are going to be able to switch up what weapons they have. Their arms look like unique things, unique designs. If you look at how it's cut in here, it looks like a unique design. So the arms are probably limited to just the arm. But, oh man, that's got a crew bar on the bottom. That's cool. But you're going to get to change their heads, some of the pieces of their weapons, and their shoulder pieces. Is that enough for you? That's for you to decide. I think for one set, I think these are great. If I wanted multiple of this, if I was playing one of the big army games like 40K, I'd be pretty annoyed, to be honest, because they're all going to look the same or be very similar. Now, some people that doesn't bother, but I am one of the people that bothers. But since I'm only ever really going to have one unit of these guys, I'm happy to treat them as like spec ops individuals, you know? But if I wanted like 3 units of wrecka krew or rocket boys or whatever they make for 40K, I don't think I'd be super happy with it. But a one-off unit of badass orcs with rocket launcher pistols, hell yeah, let's go. I think they'll make really fun additions to fighting orcs in one-page rules. Alright, so this guy's going to get a rocket launcher because he is going to get the rocket launcher like back pad thing, the back rockets because I think that's cool and unique. You know what I mean? I don't have any other guy. I have other guys with rocket launchers. I don't have any other rocket launcher guys who have like a rocket pod on their back, like fucking a Battletech like Archer. You know? Guess it doesn't have a rocket pod on its back, but you know what I mean. The ability to just shoot off like a ton of rockets is really cool. Okay, and he gets number 18. Number 18. 37, 22, 20, 33, 46, 18. Okay. And then he's going to get 28 and any rockets that I want. That should be good. Or I guess he could have this weird, like, pulse rocket thing. I don't know. I think a bunch of individual rockets is cooler than that, to be honest. And then you can have number 25, which is a cable, which we are missing. There we go. And then he's going to get his choice of additional rockets on his back. So we're going to look at a couple of options for that. Okay, let's see. Let's put our boy together here. Yeah, I'm so like out of the GW cycle these days that I actually don't know when these came out standalone. The box for them came out a while ago because I actually tried to get the full box for these. Because I was going to turn the halflings into badgers. I was going to have an army of like a little force of space badgers. Because I thought that just sounded like fun. But yeah, I couldn't actually get one. They like these Kill Team boxes, like the big boxes, sell out like instantly. It's really annoying, and they just never come back in stock. So I was gonna buy the full box for this, but I couldn't get it at any of the stores. Yeah. When I saw they had these guys in today, I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. I actually went there looking for some more Gene Stealer cult stuff. There's the Gene Stealer cult guy with like a big brain, and he's way too expensive for a singular model, but he looks cool. I was just kind of gonna be like fuck it and pick him up today, but they didn't have him. But these guys are cool, so we'll build them instead. So it looks like this plugs into the back there, and then connects down on the side. I'll put some glue on the connection points. Man, my hands are fucking tired. After all the testing yesterday. Like, squeezing the glue out of the bottle legitimately is like, oh, man. Alright, so let's see. Then they get this rocket pod, and then that connects to something else. Oh, like that. Look at that. Okay, that's cool. So this goes down like that, and then we can figure out what rocket pod we want to put on top of it. Bonk. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then on top of that, we shoot 3 rockets. And we can choose the shooty one if we want. Or we can have the non-shooty one if we want. And ooh, that's a hard choice. I don't tend to like things with like shooting effects and stuff. But man, I don't know. The idea of the shooting rockets is kind of fun, to be honest. Alright, we'll put that off to the side for a second, and we'll look at what options he has for heads. So, he can have any head from sprue number 1, which is supposed to be all the ones without helmets. Why? Okay, I see. It wants the ones with the helmets to be the melee guys. That's fair. I can see some logic in that. But to be honest, we're just going to pick one that we think looks cool. And this one here's got cool goggles on, so we'll do that one. Party of a lifetime. The neat thing is, even if you wanted this guy to be shooting rockets and stuff, you could easily clip that off and just go bloop and glue that right on. That would work really well. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Alright, we'll put his rocket choice over there because I don't know what I want to do yet. Let's see, let's build the next guy. Who's the next guy? Alright, looks like next guy would be Mr. Fister. So I think we'll definitely build Mr. Fister. Yeah. I think that's 100% a given. God, all these guys are standing on like scrap and stuff. Interesting. Alright, so he's 30, 29, 31. Party of a lifetime. Online. So yeah, in that Warframe expansion, when they go back in time, the like evil like Y2K virus that's sentient essentially makes all these copies of boy bands. So like as you're going, all these boy band monsters show up and stuff. It's really funny. It's very like self-aware, but in like a good way. Like not in a like too funny way, but in a holy shit that's weird kind of way, which is just fun, you know. Very enjoyable, very enjoyable. All right, so there's a leg. Then we need a chest, which is 31. It's kind of a shame that if you want one of these specialist guys, they're always going to be kind of in the same pose. Doesn't really seem to be a lot of options to swap those around, to be honest. Like if you want the fister guy is always going to be this guy. Now, I don't know how many fister guys you can take in the different games, but maybe it's a situation where you can only like have one, so it's not a big deal. Let's see. He gets a backpack with some cables too. There it is. I guess his fisting hands are powered. Robo-powered fisting hands. Thunk, 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 thunk. It's pretty cool. Don't we all wish we had that? Oh, all right. Let's see. Yep. I imagine for 40K or something, it's like you build one guy as like a specialist for the unit, and then everything else is either rockets or hammers. I imagine that's how it works for actual 40K. That's how these kill team boxes tend to work for 40K. You tend to ignore most of the cool parts. A lot of these are even built so that they were like an upgrade sprue that they could take out of the box and still charge you more. But yeah. You know, I was watching a YouTuber recently and he's like, you know, other games are also expensive. And his point is valid, right? Like, other games' cost per model is occasionally equally high. If you look at something like Moonstone or Infinity or anything like that, the cost per model is equally high. But the total investment in a force, it tends to be drastically lower. It was just interesting because his argument was that how much you spend on a single model, you know, in some games can be the same, right? But, you know, in Moonstone, if I was to play Moonstone, this box would be my entire army. Whereas, you know, in this is one force of like 20 different units I'm going to have on the table if it's 40K, you know? I thought that argument was interesting because it also ignored some companies that are amazing cost per model, like Warlord or War Games Atlantic, stuff like that, where you'll buy a box for $40 and that box will have 30 models in it, you know. Just interesting, you know. People come up with, you know, all kinds of different value propositions when they talk about goods, you know. And it's fascinating because, you know, everyone's determination of value is different, you know. Like, what does it actually worth to you, right? Like, is this just one unit in an army and you're going to need 3 of these, right? Whereas for me, these are all like specialist characters that are going to go into one-page rules, so in theory they're all like mini characters, you know. Yeah, so just kind of fascinating, you know. All right, let's see. This guy's got to get some kind of shoulder pad somehow. And I think we'll pick this one for his puncher as well. All right, so these like punching pads, they have two places they need to align. They have the initial circle, and then they have like an additional tab at the top that they need to line up with. Now you could just clip that tab off, and then you could put it any direction you want. Like if you want to spin it around or whatever, you could do that easily. That would take like half a second to do, but I think that worked good like that. Let's see. What's his next? What's his next thing to do? Next, he gets number 38, and he gets one of the armored heads and a jaw piece. Okay, we can do that. All right, let's find ourselves an armored head. Couple of different options here. Some with like visors. I think the visors are cool. This one's got like a bunch of random holes like screwed into a piece of metal. I think that's a pretty neat design. We'll do that. And then he's gonna get a jaw. Kind of like this one. There's a lot of options for the jaws. Huh. Yeah, you've got 6 options for jaws here. Yeah, I think this one's pretty cool. We'll definitely be making at least one more melee guy, because I want to make the guy with the rocket hammer, because I think that looks cool as AF. And an orc with a rocket powered hammer that might explode when he hits you. That's a cool model. That's a cool character design. Let's see this. Okay, that just clips on there, I see. So if you do any kind of orc kit bashing, which if you build orcs you almost certainly do, there's gonna be a lot of extra parts on this sprue. You're gonna a lot of jaws, a lot of shoulder pads, a lot of rockets. Oh, I need that shoulder pad piece still. Let's see, what was it, 38? Yeah. So like if you want some cool boys to like ride on your trucks and stuff, yeah, this kit's got the cool extra parts to spare them in. And since you essentially are getting so many heads, you could use those for a boys kit really easy too. Come on. You are the piece that's supposed to fit here. There it goes. These like shell pieces are weird, man. They're cool, but they're weird. But yeah, that's pretty dope. That looks like one hell of a like robo orc. What is the name of that movie? Fuck. It's based on the like Australian legend guy. I want to say Quigley Down Under, but I don't know if that's right. During the like cowboy times, there was a guy in Australia who built himself a set of steel armor and used it to rob banks. And none of the guns were strong enough to really get through the armor. So like he could like walk into the bank and people would shoot him and he'd be fine. I think it's Quigley Down Under. I don't know if that's true though. But yeah, that's what that guy reminds me of, man. Or the Killdozer. Alright, so let's see. The next guy wants us to build is the guy with the rocket hammer. But I kind of want to build one of the other rocket launcher guys. The weapon on the shoulder first. So I think we'll do that. So we will build this guy, who I think is finally that piece that I clipped out earlier. Yeah, so we're looking for 55 and 56. Online. Okay, it's not the piece I clipped out earlier. What the hell? Man, all these orcs are standing on rubble. It's crazy. Every single one of them. So we're looking for 54, 55, 56. Alright. Oh, I like that shield. That's the skull. That's cool. Dig that. Let's see. Where is our piece at? 44, 56. There we go. Oh, there's another one that's a skull. That's cool too. That one's got the bottom jaw on the skull. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool. Oh, I didn't put a shield on this guy's gun. Shit, maybe we'll give him that one. That one's cool. Alright, we'll think about that. One sec. Let's see, this guy is 57 and then he gets rockets of our choosing. I'm going to clip this skull out because I think that's cool. I don't know if they all should have skull things, but that's still pretty damn cool. Let's see, I'm still missing a leg. Fuck, what leg do I need? 55, okay. Just a random leg, there it is. It's funny how like part of his body was on a whole other sprue. Ugh. Okay, and then he's going to go into one of the 32s. I had to figure out where the hell they went. Online party of a lifetime. But yeah, so all the fucking Warframe music is like stuck in my head. But yeah. So back right now I have a whole bunch of Gene Stealer Cult who are primed and outgassing as I spray primed them. So they are just chilling out back. And I'll start painting them just because I don't know, I've been really enjoying troop painting, to be honest, lately. I'm not super sure why. Usually I enjoy kind of like more like mid-range characters like these guys. But man, I've been super enjoying troop painting, so I was like, yeah, I'll finally work on my Gene Stealer cult. The human soldier Gene Stealer cult. Brood Brothers, I think they're called. They are kind of what got me in the mood for it. Alright, so we'll put that there. And this guy, he needs to get a gun shield guard. Like that. Yeah, that's cool as hell. Look at that. It's like the rocket is its nose. That's awesome. I mean, it's stupid, but it's also awesome. Yeah, so these guys will get primed once I take those guys off their priming stick. The Gene Stealer cults. Alright, so let's see. What else does this guy get? This guy gets hand number 58 and rocket like holster number 59. And he gets one shoulder and one head of my choosing. Okay, we can do that. Let's find the arm first. There it is. And I want to see. Now, I don't think these arms are actually generic, but I want to see and I want to test it out. Okay, and then this is the rocket holster he's supposed to get. And we'll try out another rocket holster as well to see if those are actually interchangeable as well. But I don't think they're gonna be. But we'll try it out, just so we can be sure, you know. So worst case, we could always put these like hanging off their belt and stuff too. All right, so this is not his correct arm. This is the wrong arm. That actually fits. The pose looks dumb as hell, but it actually fits. Oh, this is an arm just holding a rocket. Oh no, this is holding part of a hammer. Okay, let's see what other arm options we have then. If those are actually swappable. That's pretty dope if that's true. We need another left arm that's not holding something. Although I guess we could give him an arm that's like holding one of the hammers or something. Really? But let's look at this one. This is number 33 here. Okay, yeah, this one looks different to me. But it works. Interesting. Okay. These guys are more kit bashable than I thought. Isn't that fascinating? Look at that. That works. Okay. Now the question is, do we want him just standing there like with a clenched fist, or do we want him standing there holding a rocket? I'm going to be honest. I think I'd rather have him holding a rocket. Like he's getting ready to reload. I think that's cooler. Yeah, we'll do that. That's dope AF. Because this arm is definitely not from the intended body. But it totally works. That's really cool. I guess that means you might actually be able to make any of the guys the punchy guy. And that's pretty cool, actually, if that's the case. Any guy besides the knob, obviously. Alright, let's look at the... Maybe the ammo thing is interchangeable? No. The ammo thing is definitely not interchangeable. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Probably because this one also goes under the shoulder, so it needs to be a little shorter, so maybe other ones are interchangeable? we can try to figure that out. There we go. Guy's rocket bandolier, I guess, is on. Alright, now he just needs a shoulder pad, a head, and some rockets for his rocket launcher. I am very tempted to use the shooty rockets for this guy. Yeah, fuck it, we're using shooty rockets for this guy. I think that's cool. And if I get tired of it in the future, I can just clip the rocket off the cloud and glue it to the gun if I get tired of it. Yeah, shooty rockets are cool. Alright, let's see. Now he gets a head of my choosing and a shoulder pad of my choosing as well. And then a banner guard thing. A guard thing for his gun. This one looks really cool with all the spikes on it, so we'll do that one. Then let's see. Oh man, this one's drill rockets. That's pretty cool. You might have to put the drill rockets on somebody. Oh, let's put the drill rockets on that one dude's back. Yeah. And let's see. This guy gets a shoulder pad. I think this one's kind of neat with a little bit of extra like fitting metal on top, and then he's going to get a head. And they don't want us to use one of the masked heads. They want us to use one of the heads with the goggles. So we'll do the yelling head. That seems fitting for someone who's actually shooting their gun. To me, at least. Alright, here we go. Alright, we'll put the rockets on this guy's back. Come on. We'll put the drill rockets on this guy's back. There's a nub or something in the way. Give me a sec. That's the joy of building orc stuff. If you clip too much off, it's just free battle damage. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I like him not firing it because he really doesn't look like he's in like a firing pose, you know what I mean? Whereas this other guy looks like he is like ready to shoot his gun. This guy does not. His like back thing here does not look like he's ready to shoot to me. He looks like he's kind of getting ready to shoot, but not like actively doing it. Whereas this guy's pose is much more like, hell yeah, you know, kind of daka 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 to me, so. But yeah, now that I know you can swap the arm, at least the left arm. I have not tried swapping the right arms yet. But at least the left arms are swappable from the couple I've tried. That does open up a lot of customization options. Oh, it doesn't like this shoulder piece. Why not? It wants me to put a B shoulder piece on there. Oh, that one apparently is a shoulder piece only for the right side. you need one for the left side, which doesn't have like the nipple inside of it. So that one has a little like tooth on the inside. This one does not. Online party of a lifetime. Yeah, you could totally use these extra rockets. Maybe like put them like on the chest or something. I think this guy's probably busy enough as is, but I think there's totally kit bash potential for those. Get rid of that. That's annoying me. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That is an awesome mini. Yeah, that's really cool. Alright, so we built 4 of them. I need to build 1 with the hammer. And then I don't know what I want the last one to be. Let's see what our options are. Our last guy can have a hammer or the rocket gun again. I don't know if I really like the hammers, to be honest. They don't really scream like bazooka guy to me. This one, I like this one here because it's got the rocket head on it. I think that's cool. So I think we'll build him with the rocket head on his hammer because I think that's neat. So let's see, this is 42, 43, 44. And then I already see the rocket head for the hammer, so we'll take that off while we're here as well. Okay. And then there we go. Oh man, this is even the hammer with the crowbar handle. I think that's cool. I like the one with the crowbar handle. It's just a very, I don't know, orky thing to me. This other one has a little saw, which is kind of cool, but I don't know. The crowbar handle just feels so orky. Okay, what else does this guy get? This guy gets number 50 and 48. 50 and 48. $46, $20, $22, $37. There's 9. Okay, there's 48. Oh, we actually have another launching rocket piece option. Ooh, do we want to use it? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. And then 50 is only like part of like a tough guy arm. There's 69. Nice. $35. 50, there it is. We got there in the end, fam. Alright. I know in Kill Team these guys have like a rule that lets them like blow up terrain and stuff. Which is pretty cool and thematic for them. Oh fuck, did I not clip the other leg out? I did not. Derp. Anytime stuff can just like ignore terrain or interact with it in like some kind of neat way, like destroying it or smashing through it or something, that's pretty cool. I was watching a like early preview for a game called Xeogenesis, and they have like big robots that can do that, and I was like, that sounds like fun. You know? Okay, so that goes over there, that goes over there. Alright, we'll let him glue on his base for a minute, and we can look at his options. He gets whatever head I want, and then whatever shoulders I want, and then whatever armor guard I want. Okay. So we can use that cool shoulder we clipped out for the other guy then. This is the rocket pod he's supposed to get, but we're going to try the other rocket pod, or rocket bandolier again. Oh wait, is he even supposed to get a rocket bandolier? No, because he gets the big shell armor piece. Okay. Well, ignore me then. What is the shell armor piece? 53. I guess he gets that because he's a melee guy. That's fair. And to be honest, this shell armor piece is very unique. I don't have any other orcs that have this, so I think that's pretty fun to use there. Oh, there's another one with a crowbar. Nice. The hands are kind of in similar places on these. I wonder if you could interchange them. This one obviously has the custom head on it that you have to put on, but I wonder if you could swap just by like snipping it and gluing it. I imagine you probably could, pretty easy to be honest, you know? There we go. I'm gonna put the front on this guy here. These are pretty damn fun models, I'm not gonna lie. Very like characterful, which is nice, right? Like especially for a skirmish game, that's super nice. You know, you really don't want to play a skirmish game and have your models be like generic. And there are a lot of those in Kill Team, unfortunately. Stuff where it's very clearly a 40k unit that's just in Kill Team for some fucking reason. Kazar Kid, I'm looking at you. Where the models are still cool, but they're very much not like characters. You know what I mean? Whereas each one of these feels a lot more like a character than like a faceless trooper. And for a skirmish game, that's kind of, at least in my opinion, what you really want. Because it's easier to have like stories and like, you know, events and like history for one model who looks really unique than like a bunch of troops, right? Now you do run into the problem of these being very unique when you want 3 units of them for 40k because you're playing a big army game now, but I mean, maybe you don't use these like that in 40k, I don't know. I don't play 40k anymore. Still build lots of 40k models because they're fun, but I like one-page rolls. Star Quest is genuinely a shit ton of fun. If I'm gonna play a tabletop game anyway, I really don't want to play PvP anymore. Just not really into it. You know, I want to like play with somebody and fight the computer. That sounds like more fun to me. Alright, let's see. This guy, he still gets a helmet. And we have a couple of options. We have some... most of the helmets are a little generic, to be honest. I would have liked some with like maybe like crests and stuff on them. There's a couple with visors, which is pretty cool. But a lot of them are very generic. I like how it's just like, man, this model's so characterful, and then I'm like, his helmet's so fucking generic. But it is, though. It's very... The helmet options are very... it's just like orc and helmet. They don't have nearly as much personality. Which is kind of funny, because the goggle ones have a lot of personality. Oh, I bet you that's why you have 2 different heads for your knob. So you can give him the goggle one, the goggle head, if he's all ranged guy, or you can give him, if he has the one-handed hammer, you can give him the helmet. I bet you that's what their intent is there. That's kind of dumb, really, because really you want customization more than, you know, oh, this head means he's a no, get the fuck out of here. Right, you know, but I bet that's what their intent is. This guy really doesn't get anything on his back, because I think I could easily, I think, still attach something to his back. Maybe not perfectly, but I mean, I think we could. Hold on, let's look at that. Which one does he get if he's the rocket shooter? Which one does he get? He gets number 47. Did I clip that out yet? 34. 68. Okay, I did. So that means that is this piece here. That means that this little guy with the 3 rockets on it. Which means it should still be able to go on his back. Do I have it backwards, maybe? No. There's not really anything in the way. Unless it's supposed to connect much higher than I thought. which point I am not above just wiggling it a little bit so he can still have some extra rockets. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, well, something to think about, I guess. Over here, please. Over here. Come on. You were working fine earlier. What happened? There we go. We got there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the rocket-powered hammer. The idea of it like firing and swinging is pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. Alright, so we built 5 of them. Might as well build the last one. Yeah, we'll build the last one. Let's see. Alright, so that's actually this arm that I clipped out already, I believe. And then 63, 64, 65. Okay. And then here's 64. Shouldn't be any people pieces left on this sprue after I clip this out. Then he's going to get this set of things. Oh, there's his chest. There's going to be a lot of gun options left, which is pretty cool. That's pretty darn cool. And then he's going to get 66, which is a rocket launcher with selectable rockets, which is the one here on this sprue. So it's pretty cool. We get to put our choice of rockets on this. So we could do the drill rockets, but I don't know why. I'm really feeling these launching rockets. I think once we build everything, I think we'll go around and see if we can add any extra bits at the end to these models, like from this sprue, you know. Oh, we also have to build the squigs. You know what? Fuck it. I took today off. We're going to build the whole box on stream today. Yeah, and then I'm going to go make myself an instant mac and cheese. And a glass of water. And that probably doesn't sound good to anyone else, but I am fucking hyped for it. Maybe I will instead go fancy and make myself a like pizza. One of those like $1 Totino's pizzas. I fucking love those things. Maybe I'll make myself one of those and put it in the air fryer. Yeah. Everyone who isn't like a fucking autistic house pet is probably like, man, that sounds fucking terrible. But I think that sounds delicious. Could go get some Taco Bell or something, I guess, but I went out this morning. I don't feel like going out now. I want to stay home. Oh, man. So out here in Hawaii, every now and then people do these, like, swap meets essentially. And one of the guys out here who's like super into the competitive scene, he has it like at his house, and it's pretty cool because people just bring stuff they don't want anymore, and you know, you get some kind of deal usually. Sometimes people are way too like, you know, that's actually like, you know, that should be like $50, and then you're like, dude, it's like a fucking secondhand dreadnought that doesn't even have rolls anymore, bro. You know, so sometimes, you know, it's a little bit too much like that, but sometimes you also get just amazing deals on stuff. So there's one of those this Saturday. I think I'm gonna go to that. Sounds like fun. Not because I need more shit, but just because it sounds like fun to do. And it would be kind of... I would like another box of Cadian infantry, so I could finish using up all the Brood Brothers pieces. So even if I got like one sprue, I'm sure I could figure out a way to use the rest of the pieces up from the Kill Team box. Because there's so many like, what are they called? Like specialist options. All right, I kind of want to build some of the generic guys too. So that would be kind of nice to pick up. That's a fucking awesome. I don't know why I'm digging the shooting rocket so much, but man, I really am today. That's pretty dope. Alright, so he needs a shield, he needs a left shoulder armor, and he needs a head. Let's do the head with the goggles up, because I think that's pretty unique. And then he needs a left shoulder armor. Oh, I see why. Okay, so the right shoulder armor has a peg in it, so it connects up correctly to the back piece. That's why it has that. I understand now. That way you don't like put it on too far back or too far forward, and it can't connect to the back like strap anymore. Whereas the one on the left side, you can wiggle it around a bunch. You can wiggle it around a bunch and it doesn't hurt anything. The one on the left side, to be honest, you probably don't even really need, but it looks cooler to have it. And this guy needs a shield for his gun. There's like this skull shield would probably make a cool face mask for what are they called? The little grot robots. I really like that skull shield, but I feel like having two guys with skull shields is too much. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one with the dangly bits, because dangly bits are cool. Alright, and then we'll look back at all our guys that we built, and we'll build the squigs, and we'll see if there's anything we can add to these guys from the extra pieces. Alright, so there's just a generic rocket guy. Whoop. Come on. Come on, focus. Why are you being this way? Demon Sandwich. I'm still kind of newish to the hobby, so I've never built orks, yet these guys look cool. I agree. I think orks are super cool. There we go. Right, like he's shooting his rocket there. He's got a bunch of gear strapped to him. He's got some cool goggles. This guy has like a hammer rocket smasher. A rocket powered hammer, I guess. This guy's got hydraulic punchy hands. Boom, 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 boom. Which is pretty darn cool. He's got like a backpack, I guess, to power his punchy hands. Then we've got another rocket shooter guy. I am really digging the actual shooting rockets. I don't know why that's hitting the spot so much today. And then we've got this guy with the big rocket pod on his back. And last but not least, we have the boss, whose right hand is magnetizable, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'm just going to put the other rocket pistol on there. Because the other weapon he can have is like a little hammer. I don't know, it's just not a very cool weapon. So I think the double rocket pistol is much cooler looking. Definitely one of the more inventive and asymmetric styles of models. Yes, that is the fun thing of orcs. I said this earlier, but one of the best things about orcs is when you screw up putting them together, it's okay because it's just extra battle damage. And they're all like spikes and plates and things hammered together, and I don't know. That speaks to me. My orcs are also painted up like the war boys from Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road. I have a bunch of custom, pretty much all of the Mad Max characters. The only one I don't have is the People Eater. I haven't made a model for him, but made a model for all the other characters in the movie, so it's pretty fun. I like orcs quite a bit. As I was saying earlier, I don't actually play 40k anymore. I use all the models for one-page rules. Yeah, that's sick. Oh, the Furiosa works. Yeah, they're really fun. I have a bunch of pictures of them up on Instagram, including my really big Stampa, which is like customized to all kinds of crazy hell. Yeah, he's got like lights in him and like a whole entire like internalized, like customized stomach with like rooms and stuff. That's pretty darn cool. But yeah, I really enjoy the orcs, and I enjoy building the models. I think probably my favorite 40k model is the Death Dread, just because it's so much fun to customize that thing. It's like this big robot with all these arms, and like you can do all kinds of cool kit bashing with it. Alright, let's see. 75 looks like a squig bit too. But yeah, like here. These guys are probably going to be a little dusty because they haven't seen these months have not seen combat in a while. But my Morden Joe Gazgul Thraka. And here's the Bullet Farmer with his bullet teeth and his bullet headdress. Where's Fury Orksa? Hold on, let me find Fury Orksa. Oh, there she is. And this one's my Fury Orksa. she doesn't have a ton of customization, but I was like, they put out a model with a metal arm. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna call that one Fury Works though. One-page rules, like custom-made games. Damn, you killed it with those. Thank you. I like them quite a bit. Yeah, this guy got he got like a runners-up painting place one time in one of the like local super fancy competitions. I was quite happy with him. One-page rules. So One-page rules is a free rule set that's online. It's like simplified kill team, like simplified GW games essentially. So like Kill Team, Age of Sigmar, 40K, but the rules are much more like compact and streamlined, and it's still super fun. I actually enjoy it more than the official games because there's less you have to like keep in your memory, kind of, and that means I generally like can kind of relax and have fun and kind of play some more. The rule sets are all free. There's also a solo and co-op like online game mode for it, where the game kind of like the app basically like tells you what mobs to put out and stuff. It's really fun. It's really fun. I cannot recommend it enough. And then once you're done with like the free rules, right, and you're like, man, I'd like to add some more in, they have a rule book, and that rule book is $4. I shit you not. And what you do with that rule book is you actually pick out the pieces from it that you like, and you play with those. So their advanced rule book works like a candy store where you go in and pick out different pieces of candy that you like, and that's really cool. So like, if you don't like command reroll, you literally just don't put that roll in the game. And yeah, it's very fun. It's a really enjoyable system, at least in my opinion, because you kind of have so much customization options. So I like to play with all the random events and stuff like that. I don't have any rerolls in the game. I play with like critical hits and stuff, which is kind of cool. It's like if you roll, all sixes or whatever, like there's a chance your dude will just like fucking explode, or vice versa, like the enemy will just go and pop. It's pretty cool. Quite a good time. I cannot recommend it enough. They have a model range goes with it, that are STLs, and they're actually starting to do plastic models now, but they're not like widespread release yet. I think they have like one kind of like Kickstarter release for the plastic models. That sounds like a good way to get into playing, actually. Yeah, it's very good. It's a simplified version. I would highly recommend Grimdark Future Firefight, which is the one-page rules equivalent of Kill Team, but it's based on a kind of polished version of Kill Team 2018. And Kill Team 2018 was like my game. Like I actually went to tournaments for that and like placed and stuff. Like I was super into Kill Team 2018. So the fact that essentially, I still have that role set to play is really cool to me. Squigs are only a couple of pieces. Mix and match sounds fun. Be able to get more friends into playing with one-page rules. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. And like I said, you can also do solo and co-op. So if your friends don't like the PvP part, you can be like, okay, well, we're on the same side versus, you know, Tyranids or whatever. You know, or we're going to play the Tyranids and we're going to fight the Space Marines, you know. It's pretty cool. With the StarQuest game mode, you essentially build like a hero, so you don't even need that many models for your side. And then you build like a stable essentially of bad guys, and the game, like the app, will randomly pick the bad guys for you that will come out essentially that turn. Also, I seem to have lost a base, so I'm going to steal one from another kit. Yeah, it's really fun. I've got a bunch of videos playing it on the channel. It's a good time. I think it's a lot easier to get people into, especially because it actually has solo and co-op. This version of Kill Team, what's it, 2024, 2025 version? I don't remember which one it's called. But this version of Kill Team actually also has solo and co-op, but it's not like super fleshed out. It's kind of like bare bonesy. So if you wanted to play a GW game but wanted solo and co-op, you could play that. And there is a channel called Glass Half Dead who did some additions to add to it to kind of make it more fleshed out of a game, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. That's the kind of content I really like seeing YouTubers make, like kind of like creative kind of stuff like that, more so than, you know, me just putting models together, right? So big props to him. He did a really good job there. All right, so we got one squig there who is eating a whole bunch of dynamite, and then we have another one here running with the grenade in his mouth. And both of these designs, let me see if I can find the damn thing. Oh, there's Blueberry. This squig I named Blueberry. Both of these designs are similar to the one from the Commandos, but they are clearly different designs, which is pretty neat, even though they are similar concepts. You know what I mean? So similar in spirit, but they are actually different designs. Sounds kind of like a Monster League show with the whole picking a bad guy for a fight and stuff. We'll check out Glass of Dead, mushy little guys. They are adorable. I love squigs so much. But yeah, like I said, if you want to play the official one, he has like additions you can add to it that make it a more fleshed out game mode. But I really like the one-page rules Grimdark Firefight, which is the same rule set that's used for one-page rules StarQuest, which is the solo and co-op game. Yeah, it's really good stuff. It's really, really good. All right, let's look at what pieces we have left over and see if there's anything we want to steal from here and add to anybody. So we've got 2 rocket launcher arms, some other assorted arms, half of a big bomb, some armored backpacks, a hammer, what looks like another hammer head. Alright, not really anything worth stealing off that one. Oh, got a bunch of stuff here. We have these shields, but everybody already has a shield, so that's not super helpful. We've got some more rockets, which I guess we could maybe add to somebody. Maybe like turn one of these rocket launchers into like a quad rocket launcher and glue some rockets on the side maybe. I think that's an option. I think we could do that, but none of them are really jumping out at me in the moment. We've got some other shoulder pads. Everybody's already got some kind of shoulder pad. Yeah, they do. We could cut those up and turn them into like knee pads and stuff, but it's okay. We have more jaw plates, but everyone with a helmet already has a jaw plate. More hammers, stuff like that. So there's some good stuff on here for kit bashing other models, but I don't see too much to add to these guys. Here's some more rockets. We can see if we can add those anywhere. Online, believe a life to... Yeah, so we got 3 extra little rocket backpacks, I guess. Let's see. We could... maybe give this guy another set of them here on the front, like that. Yeah, we could totally do that. That's actually kind of cool, I think. All right, we'll do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip the extra side off here, and then we're going to give him this, and he's going to get an extra like bandolier of rockets. So this guy will be like super ammo man. That's what he'll end up being. Yep, just like that. And there he goes. He's got a cool little rocket pod now, or extra bandolier rockets. It's not a rocket pod, it's just extra shooty booms there in his belt. And it connects up to the other side really well. Connects up right there, pretty damn good. Throw a little more glue on that just to make sure that gap is super sealed. Come on. Give me the glow. There we go. Yeah, so that's cool. So he'll have a couple extra rockets. I could probably put some rockets like up on the shoulders too, but I feel like this guy's kind of got enough already. All right, so we'll put him down. This guy, he's got the whole backpack of rockets. I don't think he needs any others. But we could maybe like hang one off his belt here or something like that, you know. But I kind of feel like he's rocketed out already. This guy's a punchy guy. He's not getting any rockets. This guy's got some on his back. Could put some on his shoulder there. I think we could also put one going across his chest if it stops falling down. Let's see. It would be something like that. Something, yeah. Something like that, I think. God damn it, stop falling down. Ah. I just want to look at it. Just stay put for a second. Yeah, it would be something like that. Which I don't think is that bad, but I think it does make him a little too thick, to be honest. I don't know. It's kind of cool, though, if he's, like, super laden down in rockets. That's kind of neat, actually. Because then he's just, like, super into it. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do the super rockets. That's fun. Actually, let's look at this one first. Let's see. Is this an option? More, maybe? That one's got a grenade in it, though. No. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do this one. I think that's fun. Right? Because these guys are supposed to be like rocket nuts. explosion nuts. So I think that's fun to, you know, layer them on a little more, even if it makes them kind of chunky. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually. Real kitted out. Yeah, that's more fun, right? These guys are supposed to be like crazy rocket guys, so hell yeah, they would carry as much ammo as they could. They want to make shit blow up. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Don't really have anyone else who should have rockets. I could take this one and like have it flying off this squig. You know? Like maybe it's just belted on there. It's like just like whoosh. And it's like rockets and a grenade and shit. Yeah, I think that's pretty fun. We'll do that. This is kind of the fun of orc models, right? Like doing some kit bashy kind of stuff with them. I could pull out all my orc bits, and I'm sure I could add some more to these guys, but I think they're pretty darn cool as is. If you do enjoy kit bashing orcs, there's a STL maker I would highly recommend checking out. And they are named Mr. Modulork. And they make tons of like orc kits that are all like essentially fully modular. And it means that you can like customize the hell out of your orcs, or use those pieces for other things. Yeah, look at that. That's good. 10 out of 10. Now this boy will make a big explosion when he dies. Love the little touches people do with all the extra pieces in the models. It gives them a little more story and personality. I agree. I think it's one of the fun things. I feel like orcs really lend themselves to it a lot. With their asymmetric design and stuff, I feel like it really adds a lot just by default. Super bomb covered squig. They just won't die. I mean, we're gonna hope he's not gonna die. But he's probably not gonna have a good day tomorrow, I'll put it that way. Alright, let's see. We got some shoulder pads and stuff. I'm gonna clip one of these out because I kinda wanna see something. But I think this is probably the last piece that we'll mess with. And we'll take a look at all of our models again. So these guys have these armored backpacks. Can I add more armor to that? I could give him like a neck covering, I guess. Not really into that. Not feeling that. I could give him a really big, like, stupid turtle helmet. I was kind of hoping these would like fit and give him like extra shoulder pads, but I guess not. All right, so I guess that's the end of our orcs. So let's take a look at everybody again and see what we built today. We have our come on. Why though? Why you be like that? Come on, there's literally nothing else for you to focus on. There we go. So we've got our... It really likes the foot of this armored core kit that I painted. So he needs to go over here. Thank you. I don't know why I really liked that guy's foot so much, but I really did. So that's our leader with the 2 pistols. Pretty cool. We've got Rocket Hammer Man here. Rocket Hammer Man. We have Mr. Fister with his punchy robo hands. We have super laden down crazy Bomber Man. I think this one might be my favorite with the extra ammo bandolier. I think that adds a lot of character. We've got Mr. Rocket Backpack. He's also pretty darn cool. We have Mr. Shooty McBooms here. He's a lot more like a comm model, but he's still pretty cool too. And we've got Squig number 1 and Squig number 2 with his extra bombs. And yeah, that is the entire wrecka crew built. So just shy of 2 hours building them, and talking and stuff and all that. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna call it there. Go have myself a little cup of instant mac and cheese. Oh yeah. But I will be back on Sunday. Hopefully gonna play some game. Hopefully gonna play some one-page rules. Star Quest, I think. Or maybe we'll do Fantasy Quest. Kind of want to play Fantasy Quest. I did paint up a whole bunch of stuff for Fantasy Quest. I do need to also finish the bases on these Skaven. Yeah, they need their bases finished. Yeah, but I really want to play something this weekend, so we probably won't hobby instead. We'll probably play something this weekend. But I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed hobbying along, getting to see these orcs. And nice. Thank you for joining. That's really, really cool. I stream every Sunday. Every Sunday I stream. But I'm out of energy, so I'm calling it there. Thank you guys for watching, and